Hello from the scene of the 49ers' latest NFC West championship. This is obviously Lumen Field after midnight here in Seattle. 49ers, I'm guessing, are already on the plane home to the Bay Area, where they're going to have a well-deserved rest over the course of this weekend. On this very field, a few hours ago, the 49ers won 21-13 to seal the NFC West title. It was a remarkable victory to cap off a remarkable 7-game run. Remember, back on October 23rd, the 49ers got their asses kicked by the Kansas City Chiefs. 44-23. It was ugly. The defense was far from elite at the time. The 49ers were also coming off a lot of injuries. They had just acquired Christian McCaffrey. He had a part-time role. Well, I'll tell you what, you fast forward now, the 49ers have gone 7-0 since that game against the Kansas City Chiefs, and Christian McCaffrey does not have a part-time role anymore. Christian McCaffrey was targeted 8 times in the past game, and he took 27 carries on the ground. That's 34 of the 49ers, I believe, 62 plays went to Christian McCaffrey. Just a massive workload for McCaffrey, and he has proven to be the absolute difference maker for this football team. Just a legend, a star player that has had the impact of a superstar, right? And he is a superstar. He's had the impact that, you might draw up for a player that good, but rarely does an outside piece fit as well as Christian McCaffrey has with the 49ers. But they're averaging over 8 points more per game since acquiring Christian McCaffrey and inserting him full-time into the starting lineup. That happened the week after the Kansas City game when the 49ers played the Rams at SoFi Stadium. And since McCaffrey's taken on a full-time role, this team has not lost. And to me, it's not surprising. But I was in the locker room today. I obviously have covered this team in depth ever since Kyle Shanahan came aboard. And I have to say that complementary football is the 49ers' lifeblood. And I know every single team tries to talk about offense, defense, and special teams working together in cohesion. But for the 49ers, they have this intertwined formula that's different than even anything else that I've ever seen. When they roar at full throttle, they are almost impossible to beat. And they've been roaring at full throttle ever since that Kansas City loss. And we saw it out on the field today. They just overwhelmed the Seattle offensive line with their defensive front. Their linebackers, I think, are unquestionably the best in the league. You saw Dre Greenlaw just destroy Travis Homer, force that fumble that Charvarius Ward almost took back for a touchdown, but then the 49ers punched it into the end zone with their offense a couple plays later. The secondary, Charvarius Ward was all over DK Metcalf today. Jimmy Ward. Remember Jimmy Ward talking all his shit to DK Metcalf and every other receiver over the offseason on Instagram Lives? He's backing it up by playing an awesome nickel cornerback position. He's had to shift positions, and he's learning the new, every week he's improving as he's learning that new position. And today, he gave up, maybe 32 receiving yards, maybe even less than that, to a team that features Tyler Lockett, one of the best slot receivers in the NFL. Every part of the 49ers defensive operation was awesome tonight. And they would have won this game by 40 points had there not been a bogus roughing the passer call against Nick Bosa. And I'm not afraid to say that because I think everybody watching this game agreed. I had some friends in the stands that said some Seattle fans started to leave when Diamara Lenore was running in with his pick six because they were like, okay, well, this is 20-plus point game. This is on its way to become a 30-plus point blowout. The officials throw the flag. People come back into their seats. That artificially extended this game, right? It always ends up interesting in Seattle. But the tour de force that the 49ers defense put on against the Seattle Seahawks, remember that they've only given up one, or they only did give up one offensive touchdown to Seattle all season long. The Seahawks didn't score a touchdown in week 2 at Levi's, and today they only scored here at the very end of the game. That defensive performance was impressive. It was 85 Bears-like stuff, and it's not just this one game. It's the fact that the 49ers have done this for 7 games now, all those second-half shutouts, then the full game shutout of the Saints, and then they took on the number 1 offense, and Tua Tagovailoa shut him down, and they shut down Tom Brady. And then they go here, and it's always, the last delivering that finishing blow is always the hardest. A rival never wants to give up the division on their home field, right here where I'm standing at Lumen Field, right? They're going to die hard. they're going to scratch and claw, and you're going to have to find a way to put them away. And today, the officials helped the Seattle Seahawks stay in this game for a little bit longer. But the 49ers just stayed steely, resilient. They made sure that, no matter how many chances Seattle gets, we're going to make sure that we beat them. And it came down to the offense at the end of the game. And Jordan Mason, it's like Mariano Rivera. When we talk about Marshawn Lynch and Jordan Mason, and it was fitting because we're on this field here in Seattle, Jordan Mason's more like Mariano Rivera. They brought him in here over the course of this win streak to just close games out with his fresh legs. And I asked Trent Williams about it, and Trent Williams said, guys, are tired and they see how fresh and how hard he's running. They start taking like creative, lazy angles so they don't get hit by that guy in the cold. And it's turned into this phenomenon. You bring Jordan Mason in and he finishes the game. Today, the Seahawks wanted no part of him, just bolts through 55-yard game, makes it down to the 2-yard line. He was a little disappointed he didn't score. But still, how symbolic is that of this 49ers football team? Their depth, the prowess that's gotten them to this point, the fact they just have waves of talent and guys that could plug in. Because it's a team that's on its third quarterback in Brock Purdy, right? It's a team that's missing its top running back from the start of the year in Elijah Mitchell. Deebo Samuel, one of the superstars, also out right now. But the 49ers just keep on coming. Injuries, have not decimated the roster because the roster's still strong, but they've really hurt the roster. But the 49ers have just kept coming in waves. And that latest wave, the closer, is Jordan Mason, the rookie and undrafted free agent. Really gives you an idea of the firepower that this 49ers team is working with. And, the biggest symbolisms at quarterback. Brock Purdy's the third stringer, completes his first 11 passes, doesn't even throw a ball the whole week of practice because his oblique and rib is hurt. Goes out there, toughs it out, 17-26 after completing his first 11. George Kittle, monster down the field, yards after the catch. Second touchdown for Kittle reminded me of when John Embry used to fine him $10 every time he ran out of bounds as a rookie. Kittle never runs out of bounds. Seahawks had no interest in tackling him. Purdy and Shanahan are mixing really well. And the fact that Christian McCaffrey, he got like 20 of the 49ers' first 23 plays. So every single play, Seattle's defense was just crashing toward McCaffrey. And they're totally helpless when the 49ers ran the play fake, right? The double play fake, the fake to the left, Ray McLeod, the fake to the right, McCaffrey. Half of Seattle's defense goes toward McCaffrey. The Red Sea parts over the middle for George Kittle. 49ers call that play Hollywood because of all the acting that's going on, right? All the play action acting. So Hollywood touchdown, not quite a Hollywood finish. It wasn't like the Dre Greenlaw holiday moment, but it was still it's never easy to deliver that finishing blow. You're going to need all facets of your game to deliver, and I thought the 49ers had all facets of their game delivered today against the Seattle Seahawks. Now, the journey is far from over. There's still 3 regular season games left. Guess what? The 49ers clinched before anybody else in the NFL. They have clinched the division before anybody else. So 3 weeks left. Now they could move focus on catching the Vikings. They're a game behind them for the number 2 seed because the type of defense the 49ers are playing, they want to have that defense at home in the playoffs. 2 seed means you're playing at home for 2 rounds. So that would be a big deal for the 49ers. You want Dre Greenlaw hitting people at home. You want Nick Bosa firing off the football with the crowd roaring, right? That's the kind of stuff that the 49ers want. They're cleaning up the stadium here. I'm just taking a look. There's downtown Seattle in the background. I'm about to go get an Uber. Who knows which direction they're yelling at, but I was the last person, one of the last people in the press box. So we're going to do the Lombardi's walk out here in a little bit. I'll give you guys another view of the field, just looking at some of the stats in this game. Obviously, McCaffrey, 26 carries, 108 yards. Purdy was good. Greenlaw on defense. That guy was everywhere. 8 tackles the week. Not even a week after Dre Greenlaw delivered 15 against Tampa Bay. That was on Sunday. Now it's Thursday. And, the 49ers just took this opportunity personally. We said it was going to be tough on a Thursday night to show up and deliver in a cohesive way just because you're so bruised, you're so tired. I know the Seahawks are too, but it was going to be a matter of who toughed it out, right? And the 49ers just said in their team meetings, they were talking about it yesterday, they said, we're going to sit down and we're going to muscle through this game. We're going to do whatever it takes because we have a chance to rest after and we want to celebrate. And they toughed it out. They sucked it up and they toughed it out, and that's how you become a champion. So the 49ers were able to become champions today, NFC West champions. They hope that's only the first type of champion that they become this year, but you got to go one at a time. And the first one they accomplished because they were steely, they were gritty. They turned around from Brady on Sunday to the Seahawks here on the road in a really tough place to win on Thursday. They out-toughed the Seahawks. They certainly got it done in all phases of the game. This 49ers team, again, I have to emphasize this, has been the best team in football over the course of their current 7-game win streak. Offense, defense, special teams, all in the top 5. Defense clearly number 1. You get 85 Bears vibes from that. A number 1 defense combined with a top 5 offense. I mean, that team dominated, the 85 Bears dominated on their way to the Super Bowl. I think the 49ers have the talent to do something similar. Obviously, that final boss in Kansas City is probably going to be looming at the very end, and what a fitting ending to the story that would be, but it's still a while away. The first step to get back to Kansas City, to get a rematch with the Chiefs, was to win the division. The 49ers have taken care of that with their 7-game win streak. They've really coalesced as a team. The second step will be clearing the path for the NFC playoff bracket so that the 49ers can get through to the Super Bowl as easily as possible. That's what's next. They've got a little bit of time off. They play Saturday, Christmas Eve, against Washington. After that, they go to Las Vegas to play the Raiders, and after that, they come back home to face the Cardinals. If the 49ers win all 3 of those games and the Vikings lose one of their last 4, the 49ers will have made the path as easy as possible as the number 2 seed. And then you focus on the playoffs, and then maybe at the end of the whole road, you get the final boss in the Kansas City Chiefs. So we'll see. But we do know that the 49ers took care of business on this field, Lumen Field, today, and I've got to go back into downtown Seattle to my hotel. All right, final walkout tour. This is what we're doing. This is the end zone on which George Kittle scored 2 touchdowns, including the one on the Hollywood play call. The second one where nobody wanted to tackle him after he cut back in bounds. They're obviously cleaning up everywhere around me. It was much louder here a few hours ago. All right, let's see if I can find my way out of this stadium. It's gonna be fun. Pick up my bag. This is the tunnel that the Seahawks come through. So we're moving up to the entrance from the Seattle Seahawks locker room. Right there. Here's your Big 12 flag. That is the Seahawks locker room. See the doors? So they just come out this way, cut through, go out the tunnel, and they brag about their loudest fans in the NFL, who obviously were quieted substantially today by Jordan Mason. Okay, find the exit, call the Uber. That is the key. I think I'm going the wrong way, guys. Yeah, this is the elevator to the press box. I think this is the way out. I think I have to go by, you have to take the other, there's the locker room. I have to take this way. The maze out of the stadium is always the toughest, but we'll figure it out. Oh, Seahawks press conference room. That's where Russell Wilson used to do his press conferences. Not anymore, since he's on the Broncos now. I may or may not be going the right way right now. We will find out. Well, I think I've made some progress. I see an exit sign over there. This is gonna do it. Perfect. All right, we're not doing too bad. We're in a more open concourse. I still hear people cleaning up the stadium, and I see exit signs in front of me. So unless they've locked those doors, I think I'm gonna be okay. Go out onto the streets of Seattle. It's a little cold here. Order an Uber, call it a night, do some more coverage tomorrow. It'll be great. Those of you just joining, I hope that you just watch the start of this show because we covered a lot. 49ers beat the Seattle Seahawks 21-13. Margot's prediction was actually closer than mine. I said, no, Well, I said 20. Yeah, she said 21-16. They got them 21-13. I said 20-17. I knew it was going to be a dogfight. It indeed was a dogfight. The 49ers are NFC West champions, and you know what? The journey is just getting started. There's a whole lot left. 49ers have clinched before anybody else in the NFL, their division. I've made it out of Lumen Field, and that means I will be available to cover the rest of this season, or at least the next game against Washington. So this is what it looks like outside the stadium. They've got Seahawks colors in the trees. They do the whole Christmas vibe pretty well here in Seattle. They do have the cold weather to help facilitate that vibe. And it's cool that the stadium is downtown, so I could just order this Uber and get out of here, which is what I'm gonna do right now. All right, this has been Lombardi Leaves Lumen. We'll talk to everybody soon. Take care, guys. You have a great, what is it, Thursday night? It's Friday morning. Have a great Friday morning. 49ers win the division here in Seattle. Second time in 2 years, 21-13. Take care.